Bleak and Eck, Michael. That was unbelievable. Hey guys, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here. Hello. Right, welcome to Pedal Jams. What have we got this week then, Dan?
The Pedal Jamage. We have the Vemuram Myriad Fuzz.
We have the Spaceman Saturn 6.
We have the Jam RetroVibe
Mk2. And we have the new Walrus Mako Series D1 digital delay.
Very nice.
Yeah. We're relatively timely as well. That came out at NAMM, the new Walrus thing. This is updated for 2020.
Imagine that.
From the original one, and don't know about this stuff. This is relatively new, isn't it? It's half of Josh Smith's bigger Myriad pedal.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what it is.
Well, let's start with that. And I think, considering what you played at the intro, you better kick us off because that was unbelievable.
Okay, this is really interesting. This. I do have a hole under my armpit on my t-shirt. So in case that finds its way into the video, I can only apologise for people scared of nakedness and armpits. Okay, this is really interesting because it mixes germanium and silicon.
Does it?
Yeah.
Ah.
If you're not aware, vintage fuzz pedals are usually germanium or silicon in terms of the transistors, and people tend to like one or the other, even though it doesn't really make much sense to draw the dichotomy in that way. Anyway, blah blah blah. This one mixes both, and what's really cool is the germanium transistor on this face of the pedal here has a bias control, and that's pretty much what this is doing for the silicon.
Oh, okay.
I believe, unless this covers both. Anyway, the mix of two means you can go from really crazy, spitty, gated, not even on fuzz because you're starving those transistors so much of voltage, all the way through to a really thick overdrive type fuzz.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear it with the Tele?
Yeah.
I'll do some tweak henge for you. So we will give both the transistors the full.
Okay, amps today we have the
Spoil.
Victory V140 and the matchless HC30 together. Unbelievable. I don't believe it.
It is really, really good. So as you heard, we just started with going from minimum fuzz and minimum volume, which gives a pretty nice rounded overdrive sound, actually. Get some humbuckers in there in a minute. Through to absolutely, it has colossal amount of volume in it. So if you've got a clean amp, it'll just get louder and louder and louder and louder. And if you have a dirty amp, it'll just push it into
madness,
filthy, naughty. Anyway, then it gets interesting, right? So check this. Here's the this is the what they call the field control, which I'm guessing is a bias for the silicon side of it, but it might not be. But anyway, here's what it does. Actually, it might not be. It might be input resistor, mightn't it?
No, that would clean it up. That's definitely a bias thing. Like a voltage thing.
Yeah. Okay. So, sorry, I confused things a bit there. I also dropped the bias a bit on the germanium.
Oh, okay.
So if you drop the voltage to the germanium completely to nothing,
right?
Obviously, you get nothing.
Nothing from nothing leaves. Okay.
So nothing.
Yep. Far out. That is crazy.
Bonkers, isn't it?
Man.
So you can go all the way from that completely gated, nasty, through to kind of quite a mid-focus sonk machine type thing, all the way through to full-on thick woolly fuzz. See if this is in tune. So we'll see if the magic volume control on the magic Strat works, shall we? I just love the way, if you bring that bias back and the feel back, you can almost, off the volume control, bring it back to sputtering nothing.
That is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
What a wonderfully super thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
well,
Yvonne,
I guess,
wow.
you know, Vemuram and Josh. Give 'em
It's
a
not going to
honk.
be bad, is it?
No, it's not going to be bad. I said I was going to do some humbuckers, so I guess we should just do that before we move on.
Okay.
Let's do this one. Why not?
Yeah,
This is the guitar that normally comes out for the humbuckers. I should imagine that the bass response is going to be fairly colossal. So interesting how the feel knob really changes the EQ response as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
obviously it's going to change everything, but it really changes that.
Well, slap my butt and call me Mel. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
It's great. I mean, we got into some uncontrollable stuff there with the humbuckers, but I think that's just a case of finding that particular combination of volume gain and the various, you know, the feel and the bias, obviously, just to get it to sit in that place where you want it.
Yeah.
Really cool. I love the spitty stuff.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Really brilliant. Okay.
Right.
Saturn 6. This is a booster and overdrive from Spaceman Effects. We've done one Spaceman Effects pedals before, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Did Astroverb or Astra something? Astro Man, a delay thing, was it maybe? don't know. Anyway, harmonic laden boost and low gain overdrive, Dan.
Right.
It eludes categorization. It eludes categorization. The boost gives 18 dB. If you add the drive in, gives 35 dB.
Okay.
And apparently the drive gives nice even order harmonics and the drive gives odd.
Oh, okay.
Boost gives even, drive gives odd.
Cool.
Boost up, landlord.
Lovely.
Simple.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm assuming it's some kind of parallel thing. It feels like it's a parallel type circuit.
Yeah, right.
I don't know that it is, but it feels like that. It's really, really simple, and having that ability to just go between boost and however much drive you want. I think a lot of people, especially if you use a gainier amp,
Yeah.
a lot of overdrives can just be too thick in the lower mid, too coloured in the EQ, whereas that, I think, is a really good partner. Feels like it's going to be a really good partner for an on-the-edge amp. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
See what it's like with some single coils? Sorry, with the Strat. Sorry, this guitar is hopelessly out of tune. It's got new strings on it because it's got yet another new bridge.
Oh, okay, because you've
Yeah.
been vlogging, haven't you?
Well, I haven't finished yet, but there's the Mark Foley bridge,
Oh,
which
nice.
looks right and hopefully sounds right. Anyway, I think we've deduced that it's just a really nice, transparent.
Lovely.
Brings out a lot of colour in the high end, I think, which is really nice. Get out of my pub! Get out of my pub!
Okay. Retrovibe Mk2. Why is it Mk2? I thought the Mk1 was pretty good.
It's upgraded and updated for 2020 according to
Okay.
the list of doom. Photocells, bulb, and NOS 2SC828 transistors, whatever that means.
Nice.
Has an internal voltage up from 9 to 15 volts.
Right.
Which is quite interesting because you prefer your analog man bi-chorus on 15 volts.
I do indeed.
I wonder if there's something magic about 15 volts and analog modulation. And there's a new internal trimmer for intensity. See what you think.
Okay.
It's throbby. It's really throbby. Well, can you switch these two around for me, please?
Yes.
Put the overdrive after the Retrovibe, if that's all right.
Of course. Yep. Depending on the fuzz, depending on the buffer,
the fuzz can sometimes sound best after the univibe and vice versa. So it was getting a bit fizzy there, but that's cool. I really want to get that next to the full tone one.
Yes.
What's the one that everyone talks about all the time?
Mojo.
Yeah, and then the other one that's in the little box.
Ah, the Vibe.
Yes, the Vibe Machine.
The Vibe Machine, there you go.
Yeah, so we should do that, but it's pretty cool.
It's great. Yeah, it's wonderful.
One of the things that you can struggle with on univibes is the level drop.
Yeah.
And for that reason, the full tone one's got a level knob on it, but that doesn't need it. It's just, it feels pretty unity. Probably got a small boost, I would imagine, because the psycho effect of it all modulating probably means it falls off a bit.
Yeah. It's a weird one. Like with vintage vibes, they generally had to be ran like at their full capacity to come anywhere near unity.
Yeah.
It's and so a lot of vibes made to vintage specs struggle to get to that unity. So you got to be a little bit creative.
Yeah.
And they've done that. They've managed to bring it up to
very cool. It does have a crazy list of users, that Retrovibe.
Really.
Yeah, including Andy Timmons, among many, many, many others.
Speaking of Andy,
Speaking of Andy,
we may have some news.
right?
Yeah, in April. Maybe. We'll see as things pan out.
Oh, okay. We might be doing something with Andy Timmons in April.
Yeah.
Great.
Be awesome.
That would be wicked.
Be amazing.
Okay. Mako series. We couldn't work out why it was called Mako until somebody pointed out that Mako is a type of shark.
Mako is a type of shark.
So does that mean it's got a shark processor?
I'm guessing that's why it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Mako's a cousin to the great white shark. It's a smaller version.
Oh, right.
But
Imagine
very
that.
angry.
Imagine that. That's like, no, because I'm going to offend somebody's brother, aren't I now? I'm going to say it's like being Jimi Hendrix's brother, isn't it? It's like,
I used to dive, right? And we in Sydney Harbour, and my dive instructor, we were all out in a boat one day, and this guy's like decades of experience, like crazy. He's done dive everywhere. Anyway, he's on the top of the surface of the water. Boat's going to pick. This is Mako shark bashing into his chest.
No
just
way.
goes like boom, and just keeps bashing his nose into his chest. He's like, ah.
help
He
me.
gets out of the water. It's like, happens. So anyway,
He wasn't
Mako.
hungry. One thing I found interesting about that is you neatly sidestepped the past participle of dive.
Okay.
You sort of said, is it dove or is it dived?
I don't know.
And I think you very neatly,
Did I?
you neatly fluffed it.
Okay.
Any diving experts? Do you
That'll be my epitaph. Daniel was here. He uniquely fluffed it.
fluffed past participle? Do you say I dove in Egypt, or do you say I dived in Egypt? Or do you make
I
it?
went diving.
Yeah, so present participle. Okay. This is really interesting, and it's a shame it's all the way over there because I've actually learned the controls.
Okay. Well, we could swap, but it would.
No, that would be weird. Shall I talk you through it?
Yeah, please.
Right. Delay
Yes.
does everything,
Okay.
but it does everything in a way that appeals to me
Oh.
because there are no menus,
Okay. I like that.
no LED readouts, no LCD readouts, no readouts of any description other than coloured LEDs. Right, Dan. Check this. So there are five delay types.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
And the cool thing is, on each one of the 5 delay types, you have got 3 alterable parameters.
Oh wow.
I'm
Okay.
going to set them all to kind of middling. And the really good news is it remembers what you do.
Ah.
How cool is that?
That's
So-
very clever.
Here you go then. Let's not start on the digital one because that's got a load of weird things happening in the repeats.
Okay.
Let's just start on the vintage parameter, which is like an analog type delay. Yeah?
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Do you need to go and do the mod things for all the?
You go for it.
Okay.
So each one of those 5 delay types, digital, vintage for analog, a reverse, a double delay, so you've got 2 delays that stack in ways I'll explain to you in a minute, and a modulation one with some unusual LFOs in the modulation.
Okay.
Each of those has 3 adjustable parameters. The modulation amount, the tone of the repeats, and the age of the degradation. Plus,
that is awesome.
Plus, this is really killer, and I haven't seen this on a delay like this before. This here, the attack of the delayed.
So how much
note.
of the front end of the note you get? That is awesome.
So you can soften it off. So in addition, I mean, obviously, the usual time, repeats, and delay mix, as you would expect. Then it's got subdivisions, as you would expect. It's also got, off the top panel, you can have 9 presets.
No way.
So 3 banks of 3, right? So bank A.
Yep.
If it goes red, that's preset 1. If it goes the next color, oops, I've managed to not press them at the same time.
Green.
Preset 2. Blue is preset 3. Right? So you've got that for 3 banks, plus it's midiable. So you can have up to 128 presets.
Wow.
Not that anyone ever needs 128 presets, but you can have 9 right off the top panel there.
That's very clever.
Listen to some of these mod ones then.
Okay.
Go on, off you go.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Isn't it good?
But really inspiring straight off the bat.
And the in the dual mode there, the subdivisions mode gives you, I think, either like an eighth and a dotted eighth and a quarter and an eighth.
Right.
And
wow.
basically different.
Different,
two different delays. If you run it in stereo, that's the other thing I didn't say, it's stereo, you get those dual delays in left and right.
Pingy pongy type.
Yeah, run it in mono and they are as they are. If you like the sound you've created, you just, before you change the knobs,
yes.
let's say we want to store it there, it's flashing purple.
Yes.
Because it's saying, you've changed me.
Normally that happens when it's flashing purple.
So you press and hold, and it stores it to that location, which is blue in preset bank A. So then I was confused because I put some presets in, and when I was flicking through them, the tempo wasn't saved. So there's like a global tempo mode.
Okay.
So if you're this, if you then move to the next preset,
it'll keep that tempo.
However, when you power it up, you can hold down one of the switches, and then it'll remember
the tempo. So
you can have actual presets.
It's thought of everything.
I think it's really, really cool because if you haven't watched our show from last Friday, which is how to choose the right delay pedal for you, we talk about specifically the 3 parameters available on the left-hand switch there, the modulation amount, the tone of the repeats, and the kind of age in the repeats as really the key definers in what makes a great delay sound for you. Plus, the problem that so many of us have with clean sounding digital delays is that hit.
Yeah, with that initial attack.
Yeah, if you're not strictly going for some rhythm thing like a dotted eighth or a edge type thing, and you want to soften it off, it's all there, and I think that is really killer.
I'm in a quandary.
Right, what, that and the echoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that the echoes does tape to the point of perfection.
Yeah, and the flanger on that sort of stuff is great. But boy, oh boy, that is an amazing, flexible, tiny. I mean,
yeah. Just before we boogie, check out some of the digital ones. These have got weird things happening in the repeats.
Well, it wouldn't be Walrus Audio if I didn't throw a little bit of a curveball.
So I think you can get things like sort of pseudo ring mods and stuff like that.
Okay. Just let me go. I just need to try one thing. That's just wonderful.
Isn't it good?
It's really, really wonderful.
Isn't it good? It's really, really good. I think,
well done, guys.
Yeah. I don't know if it's analog drive-through.
Would be. No, it is.
You can definitely have true bypass, trails bypass, and this weird mix of trails bypass that goes back to true bypass once the trails are done.
Okay, that's clever.
I don't know how that works, but there's 3 modes of bypass.
Right. Boy, oh boy.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yep.
There's a golden age of delays.
Well, blimey O'Reilly, butter my
Parsnips.
parsnips.
You might be tempted to say, well, the timeline does all of that, and other fully featured digital delays with endless editing do all of that. They probably do, but not in a way that I can understand.
Sure.
Whereas that switch, just the instant I want to change the tone, change it to the tone position, turn the knob, happy days.
I mean, UI is everything.
Yeah,
It
is to me.
Yeah, it was massive.
Yeah.
There is no excuse for making a bad sounding pedal at all like these days. All the information to get something sounding good, it's all out there. But combine that with a killer UI and it's a powerful thing.
Talking of powerful things, Dan, shall we boogie? Yeah?
Yeah.